So if your leads are not closing and you're wondering what the hell is going on, pay very close attention because it could be one of these three factors. So what I'm going to cover now in a second is 3 reasons why you aren't closing your leads. Okay, because remember, if we close more leads, we get more cash. All right. So what are the 3 things that I'm going to cover? Number one, I'm going to cover, which is specifically pain. Then the second thing that I'm going to cover is time. And then lastly, what I'm also going to cover is certainty. So we're going to cover these 3 reasons why, for example, you're not closing those leads because of one of these 3. So how I came about this and how I actually realized this myself is that when I was the head of sales for a company, and I think I probably did over 3,000 sales calls, there were different types of leads that I was engaging with, right? There'd be certain leads where I'm like, damn, okay, like I thought I had this lead. I thought I was going to close this person, but then it didn't close. And then there were certain leads where I was like, but wait, how did this close? Or, I was just so confused where it's like, what's up with these leads? Because there was never really how do I say it? There wasn't really a straight line, okay? There wasn't really a straight line with every lead. Some leads would be simple to close, all right? Where we talk and then we close at the end, which is very simple. But then some deals were literally just like this. And for the life of me, I just didn't understand why wasn't it as simple as possible. So I'm actually going to cover in terms and in detail when it comes to this framework that you can start following to help you start closing in more deals or to really get and understand or to realize what you could be missing. Okay, awesome. So let's jump straight into the first one. So the first one, guys, is pain. All right, so what do I mean by pain? Guys, when it comes to sellers and buyers, okay, what type of pain are they in? So when I'm talking about pain, I'm basically speaking about what is the problem that they're having? How much pain is that problem giving them? So for example, if you have a seller that is really desperate to sell because they have literally finished out their savings, okay, they don't have any money to pay the mortgage anymore, and they're literally just living paycheck to paycheck, and they know that if anything happens, they're going to be in trouble and they need to sell immediately. What sort of pain do you think that person is in? That person is in excruciating pain. Why? Because they know that if they don't sell and if they don't downsize, for example, they're going to be in trouble. Okay, so you need to first figure out specifically what type of pain is your lead in. Whether it's a buyer or seller, what type of pain are they in? And the best way to really get an understanding is really listen to their cadence in their language and their tonality and just what they say when you're engaging with them. So for example, how you can easily spot someone who's in massive or excruciating pain is they want to do things like ASAP, right? They're stressing. You can hear by their tonality and what they're saying, they're speaking more about how they feel because they're stressed, they're anxious, right? They're worried. So you'll notice that a lot of people who are in excruciating pain, a lot of them focus a lot on their emotions and they speak more towards their emotions. Whereas if you find someone that's in moderate pain, they're not really, they're just like, well, we've got this issue and if it solves itself, perfect. If not, we're good. All right. And that's the problem sometimes when you have someone who's got moderate pain is that for them, you know what, it's there, but they can hold off for a little bit longer. The best way I can really explain this is that I have a friend of mine who had pain in the back of his teeth, right? So he essentially had wisdom tooth. Let's just imagine this is a wisdom tooth, right? He had wisdom tooth that every now and then he would feel that excruciating pain, okay? Every now and then. And then what he would do, he would go to the doctor, okay? And then the doctor would give him some medicine. And then guess what? Hey, he's happy again, all right? And then every 2 to 3 weeks, guess what happens? He gets the pain and then he's no longer happy. And then he's sad. And now he needs to go and get the pills and then fix that issue. But now, here's the issue. After some time, that pain just kept on coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. And then guess what happened? He was in pain every single day. So he went from being a moderate pain, or from going from a moderate pain to excruciating pain after 2 to 3 months. And you can eventually imagine that he had to get it solved because he was in excruciating pain. So the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that if you're not closing your deals, number one, you need to figure out exactly where are they with their levels of pain. All right, are they in excruciating pain, or is their pain moderate, or do they have no pain? So sometimes when you're cold calling leads and they're like, well, I'm not looking to sell, you can't be wondering why you're not closing any deals just purely because they're not in any pain. So that's very important to understand. Now, the next thing is time. And time, for what I've noticed, works well in conjunction with the pain. So what do I mean by that? All right. If you're in excruciating pain, guess what happens? You have no time because you want to fix it as soon as possible. But now, if you have moderate pain, you want to coast, you want to chill a bit. It's like, okay, look, we've got this problem. Here's the pain, but you know what? If we can fix it, we'll fix it. If not, it's okay. And then someone who has no pain doesn't really want to solve it. So they have all the time in the world. So when it comes to time, it works hand in hand with pain. If you're in excruciating pain, you have no time. Okay? If you're in moderate pain, right, you have some level of time. So you have some time. And then if you have no pain, okay, then you literally just, it's not applicable because time doesn't exist because you don't have any pain. So it's very important to understand that if you have leads that are in excruciating pain, they have no time, and then they need to find a way to move forward. Now, if you really want to close deals, then you need to figure out whether they have pain and if the time coincides with the pain or not. But this is where I see most agents fall off. And this is what they don't understand. And this is what I really want to come into, which is certainty. Here's the thing, guys. How often has it happened where, for example, you're chatting to a lead, all right? They're in pain, okay? It's excruciating, all right? They literally have no time, okay? They want to solve it, but, for example, they're not moving forward. Right? And it's like, what? Didn't you tell me that you're in pain? Didn't you tell me this is the situation? All right? And it leaves you just like confused, like, what is going on? Now you have like question marks as to, hey, you're in pain, you have no time, but what is the issue? Guys, the issue here is certainty. If your leads don't have certainty that you're the best agent, if your leads don't have certainty that you are the agent, the go-to agent that's going to help them, if your leads don't have certainty that you are going to help solve their problem, they're not going to move forward, or they're going to delay, or they're going to move with someone else, or they're going to give you the runaround. It's as simple as that, guys. And I see many agents take on one of the two, right? But the problem is that if you don't have that, if they don't have the certainty about who you are and what you can do and how you can help them, they're not going to move forward. So for example, if you have a seller that's desperate to sell and they have no time, but they're not certain that you can help them, they'll either go find someone else or they'll try and do it themselves. So the key here, guys, at the end of the day, is to increase this certainty. Because if you can increase the certainty from your leads, whether it's buyers or sellers, that you can help them fix ultimately this pain, they will move forward with you no matter what. So how do you increase certainty? Guys, it's very simple. You need to build value. So what do I mean by building value? Guys, you have to be different. Gone are the days where you could just, put stuff on P24, post listings, and that's it. You're just like everyone else if you do that. Guys, the people who are working with the best agents, the reason why they work with the best agents is because they have certainty that this agent can help them. And 9 times out of 10, that agent has value. Whether they've got the most referrals, whether they've been in business for how many years, etc., there's some sort of value. But the problem now is that gone are the days where it's about how long you've had experience for and what you've done. It's about them learning something different from you, them seeing what makes you different. And how can you make yourself different? Well, you need to start creating content that's going to educate your market. Because once you can create content that's going to educate your market, best believe what's that going to do? It's going to create that certainty. Because which other agent is actually educating them on the market? Which other agent is actually teaching them a process in terms of the best ways to sell? Which agent is actually teaching them in terms of what to do if they need to buy immediately and they don't have credit? Or if they have a business and their business doesn't have the right numbers and they still want to purchase a business or they still want to purchase a property. Once you can provide education, that ultimately is going to increase certainty. So the key here, guys, if you really want to close as many leads as possible, always make sure that number one, they're in excruciating pain. Because if they're in excruciating pain, then obviously that means that they have no time, they need to fix it. But ultimately, if you want them to work with you so that you can get to the cash, you need to add value and create that certainty. And best way to do it is by creating educational posts that's essentially going to help people get there ultimately as quick and as soon as possible. All right. And also utilizing AI to find those people so that once they find you and they see your educational post, they're ready to go as soon as possible. If you guys got a lot of value in that, feel free to comment down below. And if you want to find out more information in terms of how to do this a lot better, go and click on the link below and go check out my free masterclass where I walk you through how to find better sellers and buyers, quality sellers and buyers, without having to do all the hard work yourself and having to go through this excruciating pain of not finding the right leads and not closing them. I'll see you guys in the next one.